Hello, what is up? Welcome to Ferrell Swim Tech. My name is John Ferrell. This is the online swim stream where I help you get faster by talking about technique and using my 15 plus years of swim experience to really help you conquer that swim leg. So this is a free service I do for Team Zoot. If you like what you see here, please follow me on Rumble. Ferrell Swim Tech on Rumble, at Ferrell Swim Tech on YouTube. Also, Instagram. I'm going to be showing you a vertical kicking demonstration I did on Instagram. And Ferrell Swim Tech at gmail.com for any and all inquiries. I do in-person stroke technique lessons out of Glendora, California. If you live in the surrounding area, let's talk. I can get you set up for an in-person lesson. Nice heated pool. Yes, it's outdoors, but it's a nice heated pool. And half-hour session, full-hour session. You let me know, we'll make it happen. Also, if you want to, if you would care to donate to the stream, please email all inquiries at ferrellswimtech@gmail.com. I don't feel good about posting links, stuff like that, but if you would like to donate, please do this. Like I said, I don't get paid by Zoot to do this. I get a couple freebies every now and then, which is very nice. Thank you, Mark. You're amazing. Yeah. So, okay, so let's get to the topic at hand today, and it's vertical kicking. Now, some of you may be like, vertical kicking, what's that? What I'm going to show is I'm going to show my Instagram post that I posted last week. Last week, my whole desire to do this stream, it just absolutely did not work. So we're gonna, let's see here. That's not working too well. Let's go. Let's do this. Let's click here. And then let's go here. So then, all right. So we're gonna pause my big ugly mug. There we go. All right. So here we go. We're gonna hit that. All right. So this is basically what vertical kicking is.
And straight, and only move the leg about this far ahead of you and that far behind you.
So we'll talk all about this. So basically with vertical kicking, what we're really emphasizing is the kick forward and the kick backward. We'll talk about that. So watch the leg. So you want to move the leg forward and backwards. Honestly, in my opinion, with as little knee bend as possible, there will be a knee bend, especially on vertical kicking. So I'm going to talk about using kickboards as flotation,
like this,
so then you can start working on getting
so you don't want to be going too fast. What we're focusing on is being able to keep our kick nice and small.
Progress, you're able to ditch the kickboard.
When you're ready, you then just start going without your arms
out to the side.
And then next,
and then the last
get your arms up.
Is hands up
and
top.
I'm not very good at this, but that's how you do vertical.
All right. So that's the basics. That's the basics of vertical kicking. So there's not much that I can show you back behind on the bench, other than just the ideas of tippy toe kicking. You want to have soft knee bends. You actually can do it without bending your knees, but it's a little rougher, so you probably will want to bend your knees. But let's talk about why we want to work on our kick. And I know that there are a lot of people, especially in triathlon, that are like, no kick. I don't kick. You need to kick. You need to have somewhat of a small kick. And what I'm going to do, let's see here. Where's my paint? What I want to show you, there you go. What I'm going to show you is we're going to do a little bit of drawing here. So I'm going to show you kind of why it's important, okay? So you got your water here, all right? So typically what we want to do is we want to move this way, okay? So if we want to move this way, we got to push water this way, okay? All right? You got to push water back in order to move forward, all right? That's what we've been talking about for this whole entire series thus far. We're learning how to take our hands and push water in a backwards direction, okay? So that's what we've been working on, okay? So now with the kick works differently than the pull. So if the pull is like rowing, where we're rowing or kayaking or stand-up paddleboard, what we're doing is we're taking a stiff object, placing it in the water, and then as we have stiffness with our arm, we're going to push the entirety of the water backwards. So if we're looking here, here's our intrepid hero swimming, okay? Okay? There's your knees, by the way. That's what your knees look like in Stickman. So let's connect the arm there. So then when you have that, so we're gonna here. Let's shrink this just a little bit so I can actually show my color palettes. There we go. Perfect. Okay, so we're gonna push the water this way. Okay, so we're pushing the water that way. So now the kick works slightly different. Okay. Because we don't want to gallop and put our foot down and push. We don't want to push the water with our foot. What we want to do is we want to essentially create a boat prop. So those of you that aren't familiar with boating, the prop is the thing on the back of the boat that spins around really, really fast that makes the boat go. So why do boat props make the boat go? Well, what it does is it channels the energy through it, okay? So now we produce kick by two ways, okay? So if we kind of look at what the legs look like, you know, ideally, it kind of looks like a cone, okay? So then we go back to blue, so then there's our person. Okay, so there's our person swimming. Yes, they're below the water. Just go with me on this. So then, okay, fine. We'll put the water back. Okay, so what happens is as the legs go up and down, okay, they're scissoring and pushing the water current this way. All right. And on top of that, as we push down, as this goes down, okay? All right, this looks like a free body diagram from Hades. Any engineer is probably like, ooh, this is a free body diagram. I hate bringing work into this, but this is just how it rolls. Hold up. I got it. Sorry about that. I have a whole case of yo-yos that is just bugging me down here. Yes, I am an expert yo-yo thrower. I am very good at yo-yos. Okay, so as the legs move up and down, you're pushing water out, okay? So what's really important is that you have legs go up and legs go down. Okay, so let's highlight a couple of the problems here. All right, let's highlight a couple of the problems here. So a couple of the problems that we have is when people do kind of a running stroke, okay? So the running stroke, so we got our water again. Running stroke is basically when the knee goes down and the leg goes out, and then this leg is straight. So then this leg only comes up, and then this leg, the thigh comes forward, okay? So now this does two things. Number one, if you bring your leg straight down to here in order to kick back up, when you bring your knee down, what that's doing is that's actually pushing water this way. Okay? When you push water this way, you go this way. Okay? So, if you have problems with your kick where you literally don't go anywhere, okay? Like you push off the wall, you start kicking, and then you realize, I'm not moving forward. This is what's happening, okay? What's happening is your forward progression is stymied because of backwards progression. And that is all because you're dropping your knee, okay? And also, we're not going to have the secondary camera because I didn't get it set up. I had to use it for a function over the weekend, and I just haven't set it back up yet. 1 second. So the knee drop is one of the biggest problems I've seen with kicking. And this drill will really help you fix it because you can't do this. If you do this, you will sink. 100%. This will make you sink. Because when you're kicking vertically, when you bring this leg up like this, you're pushing water up. That's going to make you go down. That's not going to work out too well. So when you're doing vertical kicking, what you want to focus on. Now remember, drills are things where we blow apart the stroke in order to focus on one or two things, okay? If you know 100% this is your problem, where you bend your knee forward and then you kind of extend it back out, you need this drill 100%. Now let's talk about the whole purpose of the kick. Let's go away from drawing land for a sec. What is the whole purpose of the kick? The purpose of the kick is to help with your body alignment. Unless you are faster, I would say, than about 140 per 100. If you're faster than 140 per 100, then yeah, you need to work on your kick. You need to get a stronger kick. If you want to progress, you need to get a much better kick. If you're slower than 140, you need a kick that isn't a liability. And that's the main focus of this drill, is we're turning our kick into something that's just simply not a liability. You may not be getting a ton of force out of your kick. I'll openly admit, I'm a terrible kicker. You know, my kick is abysmal. Back in college, I was always last on kicking sets. I'm 6'2". I have a size 10.5 foot. You know, my anatomy was not set up to be an amazing kicker. Now, my kick does very well for what I do as a distance swimmer, but in terms of being able to generate raw power and speed, no, my kick never was that. And that's just simply the truth. Now, I mean, I worked on my kick a lot. I lifted weights a lot. You know, I was way more of a puller. I was way stronger at pulling. And on top of that, you know, I was always a freaking skinny guy, so I had like zero drag on the water. I mean, my freshman year of high school, I was 6 foot. I was at least 6 foot. I may have been 6'1" at that time. And I weighed like 120. I weighed 120 pounds as a freshman. You know, my training weight was at 180, 180 for most of my collegiate career. So I've always been a really skinny guy. I mean, I'm at 200 now. But yeah, you know, the kick has never been my thing. However, what we're talking about here in terms of swimming, for triathlons is obviously we don't want a stupid fast kick. You know, in swimming, what we would do is we would always time where we wanted to bring our kick on, especially with distance. With distance, you blew your legs out at the beginning of the race. Your push-offs are terrible. Your underwaters are terrible. you're just going to have a really bad time near the end of the race. So typically we would train and we would figure out exactly when we would want to bring in more kick in order to finish off the race to the point where our last 50, we've blasted the legs, and our legs, we've drained our legs by the end of the 500, the 1,000, or the mile. Those are the 3 distances we swam. We don't have that luxury in triathlon. I get it. I 100% get it. You know, I'm not training you to be an amazing kicker. What I want to do is I want to take your kick and make it not a liability. That's it. Vertical kicking will help you get there, because what it's going to do is it's going to focus on the kick up and the kick down, okay? Most people, they go down, 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 down. You know, they soft up, big down. Soft up, big down. Why do we not want to do a big down? Well, that hammers the quads, okay? Because when you extend your leg, okay, when you extend your leg, you're squeezing the quads. So when you extend your leg, that's hammering your quads. So every time you kick, it's bam, 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 and your quads are just getting annihilated, all right? So if we smooth that kick out to be something more like this, you know, you keep stiffness in the leg and you allow it to draw up, you're going to start working the entirety of the leg, and you're going to shift the impact of that bam throughout the entire leg, and it's going to be softer overall. So with, and like I said, with a good kick, you really don't have to kick much at all. This is why I'm a huge fan of the 4-beat kick. You know, I've talked about this mostly in the kicking video, but excuse me. Sorry. So you know, when we talk about kicking, a lot of people, I've seen a lot of people, they say, oh, 2-beat kick for triathlon, 2-beat kick for triathlon. I say no 2-beat kick for triathlon. 2-beat kick, in my opinion, is for those that are actually expert kickers, that are able to truly master the kick technique. Because if you've mastered the kick technique, you only need 2 kicks to keep your kick afloat, and you're shifting most everything onto your upper body, and you're, you know, you really understand hydrodynamics. You're able to keep nice and straight. You have good body positioning on the water. So a lot of these things that are benefits to the 2-beat kick, in my opinion and my experience, you need to have a really good mastery of the kick in order to be able to pull off a 2-beat kick. Now, a 6-beat kick, in my opinion, is just kind of move your legs fast. I've never been able to do a 6-beat kick. For my arm turnover rate, I can't move my legs fast enough. I just can't do it. You know, I don't know if it's my height. I don't know. I've just never been able to legitimately pull off a 6-beat kick without slowing the arms down. Okay? Now, for me personally, that just doesn't work. That doesn't work for me because I can't slow my arms down in order to finish off the 2 extra kicks. So that's where, personally, I'm dead set on the 4-beat kick. That's what I teach. I attempt to teach it. For a lot of people, it's hard to get the coordination down. But for me personally, with my swimming style and my racing style, it just works for me 100%. I have no qualms about 4-beat kick. I have no reservations about it. I truly believe if you can figure out how to do a 4-beat kick, your entire swim will get faster because, number one, you're not kicking the legs as much, so you're actually saving a fair amount of oxygen and power consumption by not kicking so many times. Number two, I certainly believe that my kick is way more efficient as a 4-beat kick. Number 3, you can scale the 4-beat kick very easily up and down. You can slow it down for distance, have a little bit more power, or you can have a lot more speed and generate a crap load more power that way if you're sprinting. And, you know, you're able to control what your arms do based off of how your legs are kicking. Where basically you turn yourself into a bicycle, where instead of your front chain driving front gears driving your back gears are driving your front gears. So a lot of that to me makes sense, and that's how I swim. So let's really dive into this vertical kick here, because the vertical kick will help you with the kick up and the kick down. So what I did, I wasn't able to set up a oh yeah, it's over here. I wasn't able to set up an underwater cam for myself. So I'm going to be borrowing some footage from Merlin Triathlon Coaching in order to show this. So this is something that, yes, I'm borrowing. Oh, by the way, before I get into this, if you're at this point of the video, thank you very much for watching. Make sure you tag your friends in the video. Something that Facebook does with all their groups is that unless you fork over a bunch of money, Facebook actually doesn't notify members of your group if stuff goes live or if posts have been made. So if you know someone that could really use help with their kicking, vertical kicking is a really great tool for this. So make sure you tag them in the comments or send it to them. You know, use the little share button, share it with them. Just because Facebook is a business, and their business is eyes, and they want you to pay them in order to get more eyes on your content. So a little bit of insider baseball here. There's actually little pop-ups that pop up in our group, in the Zoot group, where once you make a post or when I do these videos, they say, hey, do you want to spend an extra X amount of dollars to reach 650 more followers? What? You should be reaching all the followers anyway. So in order to help us out, in order to help the Ferrell Swim Tech stream out, please make sure you share this content with someone that really could use it. Okay, so now let's move on here, and let me show you. So Merlin Triathlon Coaching. I'm not signed in on this browser. My Opera browser is really screwed up for some odd reason. So here I've slowed this down to 25% speed, so you can really kind of see what's going on here. So you have the kick forward and the kick back. Forward, back. Forward, back. To be brutally honest, she's not moving her upper legs near as much as I want. But what she's doing is, you see the calves are engaging. Here, hold up. Let's get back to 1080 here. Okay, so we'll be back here. So you see the quad and the calves are engaged as the leg draws backwards, and then the knee bends softly as it goes forward. Okay, so this is kind of what it looks like from the front. Now she's going to rotate to the side. So nice and relaxed. What you're seeing is the upper body is not moving, okay? What you want to avoid is you want to avoid the bob. You know, you're like, You know, you want to try and keep your body, your upper body, as silent as possible. Slight bend, a slight rotation in the hips. So you see kind of the hips sway back and forth just a little bit. So what you want to do, okay, yeah, she's moving back over to the right. So what you want to do is make sure that you're kicking backwards and you're kicking forwards, okay? So let's head back here. So this is a good kick. This is a good kick. You know, this is honestly, this is a perfectly fine kick. I can nitpick this kick. I feel like with the so the feet work like fins. This is where, you know, I kind of believe stiffness is really important. You kind of want to have stiff legs. There's a couple things that I would nitpick here, but let's talk about this in the aspect of the drill. The drill here is an activation drill. What we're really trying to achieve is the kick backwards. So we're kicking backwards and forwards, back forwards, back forwards. So what I want you to focus on with this kick is the kick back. The kick back, because that's where so many people are sorely they're sorely doing stuff up, okay? Yeah. So right here it says, I think the kick is important for triathlon swimming, not because it's hugely propulsive, but because when it's wrong, it can slow you down massively, use unnecessary energy, create additional drag, mess with your balance and stability in the water. Basically, Merlin absolutely nailed it. And this is my philosophy too. Your kick in triathlon is not there to make you move forward. It's to give you a better quality of swim while you're working out. And on top of that, when you're racing, you're going to lose so much energy when you kick improperly. So doing things like this, doing vertical kicking, this will help you calm your kick down. So let me kind of roll through this one more time. Let me so there's a couple caveats. Oh, by the way, I'm gonna link this. There you go. Oh, shoot. Oh, I'm sorry. My comments were not my comments weren't showed up. Oh, hold up. We're gonna hide that one. Okay, so Jennifer, let's see here. Yeah, I'm sorry. I just barely saw your comments here. Question about vertical kicking. I've done it a couple times during tri-club sessions. Haven't been able to translate it to my swim. Do I have to do it many times to create muscle memory? Mostly yes. So I'm gonna tell you a way that you can do this during your workout. Because the thing with vertical kicking is that you need to understand that what you said is absolutely right. It does create muscle memory. And what you want to focus on is you want to focus on, you know, having a nice compact kick. So when you see this gal, she's kicking, and then she'll turn to her side in just a second here. There you go. So now she's at her side. So you see here, that kick length, this is what you want to focus on here. This is the second thing you want to focus on. First thing you want to focus on is moving the legs backwards. Here, let me do something. We'll sketch this out just really quick here. Okay. So what we want to do is we want to limit what this is. Okay, so that's number one. We only want that to be about 18 inches. Okay, so we don't want to have a huge spread when we're underwater. Okay, because you see here, if we draw a line from her, like down her back, what we're seeing here is that barely her foot is out of line. And then if we draw a front line here, I know I kind of shifted it outward to follow the leg, but you're basically having the same thing. Okay? One second. So this is where we want our kick. We want our kick to reside in this zone. we don't want to flare our kick out to here, because once we get past our body line, we are pushing water this way, okay? And then when our kick flares out the backside, so here's our back, so this would theoretically be about, so water line would be about here, okay? If we're moving our legs way outside where the water is, we're going to come crashing down, and that's going to create a huge splash. That's wasting energy, okay? So we want to keep our kick right here within our 18-inch zone. And this is the second thing that you're going to be focusing on with your that's the second thing you're going to focus on with your kick. So your kick is really working in this nice compact zone. So item number one that you're focusing on, if you truly have a terrible kick, item number one is going to be getting your leg to kick up. So in other words, drawing your leg back. And if you're having issues with that, activate your glutes and your hamstrings. Activate your glutes and your hamstrings more. That's going to draw your leg backwards, okay? And then activate the entirety of the front in order to push the legs forward. I'm going to figure out within the next week, I'm going to really try and see if I can get an underwater camera going. It's been raining a lot here, and my lessons have dropped off quite a bit. And my daughters have started softball, full swing into softball season. So I'll do my best to get some video. I'm gonna have to figure this out though, because I gotta see if I can recruit someone to take some video of me. So anyway, so this right here is exactly what we want. Is it my ideal vertical kick? No, but is this good enough to where, yeah, if you did this, you would be doing the vertical kick right? Yes. Is it 100% optimal? No. But as you see here, this person is just staying, it's good enough. I have, like realistically, I don't have any real issues with this other than 100% nitpick. So the big thing that you want to go for is the upper body is nice and stable. You're just moving your legs back and forth in order to create the downward pressure on the water, okay? So then how do you do it? So you're going to get into deep water, okay? You need to be in the deep end to do this. I would recommend at least 5 feet to do this unless you're super tall. If you are over 6 foot tall, 5 feet might work for you. It might be a little rough. If you're under 6 feet, 5 feet of water at the deep end of your pool should suffice. If not, there's a couple things that you can do. So item number one is grabbing kickboards. There, my kickboard's over here. So a couple things that you can do to get started, because I understand vertical kicking is scary. We used to do vertical kicking with the vertical kick that we used to do in college. We used to hold 20-pound bricks above our heads when we did vertical kicking. I hated it. I was always sinking during vertical kicking. So yes, I have vertical kicking PTSD. I fully get it. I fully understand. So holding a kickboard right here, just like I do in the Instagram post, which I blipped off. Did I blip it off? No, it's right here. So I'm gonna post. So there's my Instagram kick again. So you hold the kickboard right under here. So if you have access to 2 kickboards, you're in Fat City. You're not going anywhere. Okay. So just hold the kickboards like this. And then you're going to start working on the vertical kicking. Okay. And then once you're done, and then once you feel like you kind of have the motion, what you want to do as actually, So you're gonna take the two kickboards, you're gonna put them together, and then hold them right here, and then try vertical kicking. Okay. So what you want to try and do is just barely hold, just barely lightly grip. You don't want to be like, ow. I'm going into the chiropractor today to see if I can figure out what's wrong with my elbow. My elbow hates me. So, push down. You don't want to push down on the thing. You just kind of want to hold it there in place and then try the vertical kicking while you're doing that. So how do we incorporate vertical? Oh, and then after that, after if you feel like you're pretty confident, you can ditch the kickboards. And then the next level is just putting your arms out to the side and then doing the vertical kicking. And then throw your hands up over your head and see what happens and see how fast you sink. Honestly, most of you, if you're vertical kicking with your hands here or at your hands at your side, you're fine. That's all you really need to learn with vertical kicking. You don't need to go, like, if you really want to work on your kick, then get your hands up over your head and then do the vertical kicking. Polo players, they used to get, they would get those big old Sparklets jugs, those like massive 5-10 gallon jugs, and then they'd get it full of water, and then they'd either egg beat or vertical kick, and they would hold it over their heads. We didn't have to do that. But egg beat. Okay, so egg beater is a lot easier to do and is a lot more efficient to stay on top of the water than vertical kicking. But we don't do egg beat because we're not polo players. I don't like polo. A fair amount of people ask me if I ever did water polo. I just go, no. Reason number one is our pool was not set up for polo. When I swam at Glendora High School, our pool had like maybe 4.5 at the deep end and maybe 3.5 in the shallow end. Yeah, it was a puddle. It was absolutely not set up for polo. I wouldn't have done it anyway, because I'm a wuss, and the instant someone kicks my shin, I'm out. I was like, just take me out, coach. I'm dead. I'm dying. He just touched your shin. I know. I'm dead. I like my own lane. I don't want people in my lane. Don't get in my space. So why do you think I rock it out so fast when I race? So I don't have to touch anyone. No, that's mostly a joke. But no, I would not have played polo. So anyway, okay. So how do we incorporate this into our actual swim? Okay, so here's what you do. So this is going to be pretty similar to what we did in the kicking video, where in the kicking video we talked about doing dry land stuffs, hopping in the water, holding the wall, doing some kick, and then swimming, and then repeating the process over and over again. So in order to incorporate the vertical kicking into your drills, what you want to do is start off with like 3 rounds of 15 seconds of vertical kicking. So 3 rounds of 15 seconds of vertical kicking. And like I said, if you're really new to vertical kicking, what I highly recommend is you focus on that kick backwards, and then focus on keeping those legs about 24 inches max. Absolute max, like 100%. You got like electrodes at 12 inches deviation from your foot, and it's going to give you a little shock to your toes if you go further than 12 inches backwards. So, and remember, 12 inches is only about this much. So here, that's about as wide of a kick that you want. You don't want your kick wider than this. You just don't. So focus on that width of your kick, and then focus on the kick backwards. So focus on drawing that leg backwards and keep that upper body nice and still. Don't, like the gal in the video, I think she kind of wiggles a bit too much. with the hips. You can see the actual upper body rotating too. I very much so recommend not rotating the upper body. Try to keep the hips as stable as possible. That would be one of the things that I would personally nitpick. But she's very casually doing it, and casually doing it, I don't care. If you're casually doing the vertical kicking, that's fine. Just try and keep your hips nice and stable. If they sway just a little bit like the gal in the video, okay. Yeah, so you're going to do 3 rounds of 15 seconds and then swim a 50. So you're going to swim a 50, and what you're going to do is you're going to push off. You're going to you're going to go your first 25 streamline kick. Okay? You're going to streamline kick, and you're going to try and incorporate the idea that you did. Isn't kicking mostly back going to make my legs sink? Okay, David, that's actually a legitimately good question. So the idea is this, okay? And 100% I get what you're saying. So when you're here, you're going to draw your leg up, okay? So what you're saying is absolutely right. You're going to draw your leg up. So when you draw your leg up, you're actually going to be pushing water up. But while you're drawing the water up, you're also pushing the water down, okay? And then when you switch and replace, you're drawing water up and you're pushing water down. So what winds up happening is, David, in the long run, you wind up canceling out the upwards and the downwards. And this motion is scissoring the water, and it's pushing the water backwards. So as you come up, you're shunting water backwards, and as you push down, you're shunting water backwards. So the two combined will actually help keep your legs on top of the water. There's a reason why we don't do single leg kicking in swimming, because it doesn't work. So the two legs combined together will actually will cancel each other out. And that's why when you kick like this, you're not getting that up and down motion. So when you bend the knee, the most extreme is what I call the running kick. So you bend the knee and you kind of kick like this. So when you kick like this, you're only pushing water up, and then you're drawing your leg forward, pushing up, pushing up, pushing up. So then when we kick mostly like this, we're allowing the legs to cancel the up and down motions. I don't know where my thumbs are. We're allowing the kicking motion, the vertical motion, to basically cancel each other out. And that's why the whole kick works, okay? So I mean, like if you're doing butterfly kick, you're going to draw the legs up and then push down. Draw the legs up, push down. So that's how butterfly works. So a lot of people have issues with butterfly because they don't really understand the mechanics. That's because they don't understand how to draw the legs up and then push down. So, hey, David, don't worry about it. Because remember, 100%, water is weird, okay? Water is totally weird. Water does not behave like concrete. In concrete, you think about it, and you're just like, oh, I just push harder on the concrete. In swimming, you're just like, the wiggle, the wiggle kick. So I get it. I 100% get it. I'm a water guy. I design swimming pools for a living. So I understand water very, very differently than a lot of other people. I have all the physics backgrounds. Yes, just like I'm not an English major. So yeah. So hope it seems like that's now clicking for you. So with kicking, we're really trying to reach an equilibrium on both legs. And that's one thing that vertical kicking will exacerbate and highlight. So So like I said, kicking down and kicking up, and that translates in vertical kicking forwards and backwards, okay? So you're not kicking mostly back. You're kicking backwards equally to the amount that you're kicking forwards. So that's what you're really going to be focusing on in the kick. So David, to better clarify what I did state earlier, what we're looking at is we are emphasizing the kick backwards and the kick forwards at the same time, but you want to emphasize a little bit more mental energy into drawing the leg back, because there's a hot chance that you're probably not. So you got to spend, when you do this, I mean, I'm totally okay. If you're new to vertical kicking, you go, you know, do it robotically. Do it robotically. Go from here. So let me tilt the camera down real quick. So like, okay, so let's say that you're vertical kicking, okay? So you're going to go here, 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 okay? So kick, down, kick, down, kick, down, kick, down, okay? So I'm totally okay. I'm totally okay with the concept of you doing that. And the reason why is because you're going, you go here, stop, center, here, stop. So you're kind of feeling it out, how far back and forth your legs should be going. So then split your legs just a little bit, and then come back to center. Split your legs, come back to center. Split, center, okay? So that's how you get started. So what you want to do is you want to look down, put your face in the water, and actually look at your legs splitting. You know, just try and just kind of bring your head down like this. Don't crane your back, because that's going to completely destroy this. But knowing and understanding how far you're splitting your toes, how far are your legs moving, that's going to become huge during this drill, and then it'll eventually translate. You'll get the muscle memory, just like Jennifer asked earlier. You're going to get the muscle memory that will then help you really focus in on just kind of that nice fluid kicking motion. So when you start, double kickboards, kick, 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 all right? So if you're doing 3 rounds of 15 seconds, do first round like a robot. All you're focused on with this one is just the 15 seconds is spent knowing how far your legs are splitting apart. Make sure that your hips are not rotating that much. Make sure that your upper body is not rotating that much. You want to keep your upper body nice and still. You don't want to have your upper body sway back and forth while you kick. Your shoulders do not help your kick, okay? This isn't like running where your arm swing does help your leg drive. No, not like running at all, okay? You want to keep the upper body nice and still and try and focus everything from basically your abdominals down. So that's where you're going to get all of your power. That's going to get everything where you're actually moving your legs back and forth. So your first 15 seconds is robotic. Your second 15 seconds is just switching your legs. So robotic is split, center, okay? So then your second 15 seconds is split, okay? So focus on moving the legs and stop, and stop, and stop, and stop, okay? So what that's doing is that's imprinting on your head when the legs are supposed to stop, because obviously our legs don't stop, but it's a sinusoidal trigonometry term. It's a sinusoid. It's a cosine wave. Okay, it's a cosine wave. It's a sine wave. A cosine wave. It's oscillating up and down. You see, because if you plotted my finger over time, you would see it's a wave. So then when you go like this, there is an actual stop point at the top and the bottom. So then as the legs start moving, there is a stop point, but it's smoothly transitioning back into, So let's say my arms are pointed straight down. So you go split, center, split, center, split, center, split, center. That's your first 15 seconds. Second 15 seconds, split, 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 split. Okay? So that's taking it now, and you're figuring out where the endpoints are. All right? So now the final 15 seconds is kick, 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 kick. All right? So you're going to do 3 rounds of 15 seconds with vertical kicking. Then what you want to do is you want to swim a 50. Okay? You want to swim a 50. And then you're going to do halfway with half a 25 with streamline kicking. So you're going to reach your hands over your head and you're just going to kick in a streamline. You're going to kick that for a half a 25, and then you're going to swim the second half of 25. Because for a lot of you, I don't want you kicking the full 25. So you're gonna kick half of 25. You're gonna swim the second half of the 25. So then after that, you're going to come back the same way. So you're going to be actually swimming a full 50 this way, because you want to get back to the deep end in order to do this drill. I don't want you doing the drill in the shallow end. Just don't do in the shallow end. Do in the deep end. So you're gonna swim down, swim back, and then you're going to do the same thing. 3 rounds of 15 seconds of vertical kick. And then you're going to swim another 50. I want you to do that about 5 times. Okay? So do that for about 4 to 5 50s. And then after that, what you're going to want to do is you want to do rounds of 30 seconds of vertical kicking. And this is just simply doing the kick. Okay? You're not, no robots, no nothing. You want to do 3 rounds of 30 seconds of vertical kicking. This is where more than likely you're going to need to incorporate the kickboards. Another idea you can do is you can get one of those aquarobics belts. Then an aquarobics belt, may be really beneficial for you. But using the kickboard, because I know there's a lot of places that do have aquarobics belts, easily available for people. So if you can get one of those, that actually will be really good. Because then you don't have to worry about getting 2 kickboards. But getting 2 kickboards is fine. You can also kind of hold the wall a little bit while you do this. I don't recommend this just because this forces, this kind of strange arm position. You can also kind of hold the lane line. Some lifeguards may get a little cheesed off at you for doing that, so beware. If there's no one around, then hold on the lane line. I'm trying to think of what else. Yeah. Okay, so then you're doing, so let's just let's wrap this up and let's review. So for incorporating this drill into your workouts, what you want to do is you want to do 4 sets of 3 rounds of vertical kicking. The first one is a robot. So center, out, center, out, center, out. Second one, switch your legs forwards and back. Third, standard kick. So after the third round of 15 seconds, I want you to swim a 50. You're going to repeat that about 4 times. Okay? You're going to swim a 50. First half of 25 is streamline kick. Second half is swim. Then the third quarter of the 50, or third half full. Streamline kick, swim. Streamline kick, swim. Okay, that's what you do over the 50. All right, sorry, my brain is starting to deteriorate at 6:15 in the morning. So then you're gonna do rounds of 30 seconds of vertical kicking, and this is just straight vertical kicking. So you want to do straight vertical kicking for 30 seconds, and then same thing. kick a half a 25, swim a half a 25, kick a half a 25, swim a half a 25. No kickboard, streamline kicking only, okay? Need to take a stroke, take one stroke of freestyle, kick, 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 one pull, kick, 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 kick. That's how you're going to want to do it. Yeah. So that's going to give you about 8 to 10 50s. That's going to be a pretty good kick set, honestly. You're going to do a lot of good kicking, a lot of good technique work, and that's it. So, thank you, David. Yep. Yeah. We're wrapping up here anyway. So vertical kicking, like I said before, this is designed to help build your kick a lot. But if you do it the way that I'm talking about, you're really going to work on your kick technique. You're going to learn that there is an up kick and a down kick. And once again, we're focusing on making your kick not a liability. We're not really too dead set on introducing power into the stroke, but what we're really trying to do is get our kick to where it's not actively slowing us down. Okay? So that's it for me today. So thank you all so much for tuning in. Remember, like I said before, please make sure and share this with someone. You want to share this with people. Make sure that there are lots of people who get this. Any questions at all, ferrellswimtech@gmail.com. That is my company email. Also, Ferrell Swim Tech and on YouTube and Rumble. Make sure and check out both of those places. There's a lot of good stuff there. I do need to spend some time very quickly and get a bunch of these episodes uploaded. But I still do virtual stroke technique lessons. If you want to film yourself swimming, send it to me. I can look over your stroke and help give you personalized tips and ideas of what to do. If you want to see some examples of that, check out the YouTube or the Rumble. I have all of the ones that I've done there that people have allowed me to share. There's only been like one or two that I haven't been allowed to share. And yes, I ask permission before I share it publicly. So that's about it. In-person lessons, let me know. I'll be down at Los Alamitos Bay with Team Zoot on Saturday. We're going to be doing an open water swim down there. There's going to be some great coaches there. I will be there providing support as well. So, hope to see you in the water. Hope to see you racing sometime. Personally, my race calendar has changed. I am going to be racing Los Alamitos Race the Base. I'm going to be doing that instead of Pasadena this year. So I'm going to be doing that. I'm going to do in Bayshore. I'm actually going to be doing a time trial race at the first weekend of May, the Pre-U 40K time trial race. So I'm excited to do that. So we're gonna take the bike and see how much I suck. I am not a very good cyclist. So I'm basically doing this 40K to challenge myself. The other thing too is my wife is actually out of town, so I'm going to take my kids with me, and I'm going to promise them a big old breakfast at the IHOPs after we do the race. So anyway, so that's my race calendar for the next couple months. So hope to see you at Bayshore or Los Alamitos Race the Base. Got the new kit back there. And totally excited for 2024 race season. So hope this video helps. If it does, leave a like, share this video with others, leave a comment if you got any questions whatsoever. And so keep swimming, everyone. So until later, my friends, good night, Isaiah Norris, wherever you are. I'm out of here. Goodbye, everyone. Goodbye.